Get in the Lab podcast. We love Megan, so please welcome Megan Pangan from Get in the Lab.
Oh, it's not working. I don't think. Is it? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I just okay. So I'm meerkatting. You all heard of that, right? Meerkat?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So before we get started, I have a little riddle for you guys. All right. How do you convince somebody who has zero podcasting experience, zero experience being on camera, and zero teaching experience to do a weekly show with you? How do you do that? How do you do that?
Mary.
Yeah. BJ's. BJ's. I recommend that for avocado egg rolls, some pizza, some beer was in there. But that was where the Get in the Lab podcast was born. It's a video podcast. And there was a moment where I introduced and proposed this idea to my partner, Kevin. I said, right over there. Say hi. Say hi, baby.
Hey.
And there was a moment there where, man, I was like, I could ask him to do this, or I could not ask him to do this. And I was really afraid at that point. Because 2 years before that, there was so much struggle for me to try to make him understand this world that we live in, right? This world that we live in as podcasters, as content creators. And man, it was like, it wasn't just, hey, let's do a podcast. It was, hey, are you with me now? Are you ready to take this step with me? Because I want to share this with you. And there's no other way for me to do it. And when he said yes, I thought anything was possible. So, I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank Jared and Dan for giving me the opportunity to be here. The fact that I'm here, guys, and that I'm not, I'm not Omar Nicole. I'm not Kate Erickson. Our plays are not crazy. I'm your everyday podcaster. This opportunity. Wow, thank you so much. I so appreciate that. So what we're going to do today is talk about video podcasting and what it's done for us in our established business and for our startup businesses. More importantly, what it's done for us as a couple. Because y'all know when you're heartbroken, everything looks like shit, right? So we're going to talk about that. And at the very end, I have a little free treat for you. Okay? All right. So when I proposed this idea to Kevin, that was back in August of last year, 2014, of starting this video podcast. Fast forward to now, we've been featured in New and Noteworthy. We've been featured in Entrepreneur.com, Huffington Post. Our wedding business, because we're wedding photographers, that's our primary business, is booked solid up until 2016. We've been in What's Hot in the Business section for iTunes, and we've seen an immense growth in both of our social online presences. And oh, okay, cool, yeah, that's good. Nice accolades, features, oh yeah, it's very welcome. It's important for sure. But I want to get to who we are, okay? So, hi, my name is Kevin over there, you already met him. Kevin, we started out as wedding photographers, like I said, and for 6 years, that's what we did together. We built that business from nothing and no training. And after that, back last year, I retired from shooting because I just couldn't help it. I was addicted to podcasting. This is where I belong with you guys. And so Kevin, he now shoots almost every single weekend. Me, I handle all of the blogging, the content creation, the writing, the branding, the being the face and everything. And that is who we are. But more importantly, guys, I'm just like you. Just like you, in that instead of deciding not to do it, or getting scared, or being stuck in my fear, we just kept making the decision together to move forward. And then again, and then again, every single day, until it created this momentum that was just incredible. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about video podcasting and why you should even consider it, right? So podcasters, you and I, we have a superpower, kind of. You know, each one of you has a voice. You can inspire, you can teach, you can bring awareness to good messages that need to be spread. I call it good shit, yeah? So we have a very special power. And video is a 10 times multiplier of that. No. Actually, you can put any number you want there. Because video is a blank canvas for you to take, and you can go as deep as you want with it. You know, you can just do Instagram. You can do Facebook video. You can do a full-out production, right? You can take it wherever you want. So let's talk about how video multiplies your power as a podcaster. All right. So, actually, I've already been in the game of podcasting before this Getting Aloud podcast. And I had a show called The Love and Entrepreneurship Show. It was audio only. It was 30 minutes long. And I interviewed couples who were in business together. And some of them are right here. Omar and Nicole were on the show. And Kate and John were on the show. And very many others. And that was great. It was awesome. However, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had no idea how to find my voice. And at the end of 67 episodes, man, I was so bored. I was so bored with me. Not the people that I met. That was fantastic. You guys were great. I made so many connections in that show. But for me as a creator, as a content creator, and I think of myself as an artist of sorts, I was bored with it. There was no differentiator. I sounded like everybody else. It was templated. And so at 67 episodes, I quit that. I stopped that show. And I thought, man, I need to do something different. So I started to look for inspiration outside of our niche of podcasters. And so I came across a show called Runaway Thoughts. And it was a video podcast, Talking Heads. They were a couple at the time, they're not anymore, but it was run by Anna Kana and Gravelyn Johnson. And I thought, wow, that's different. And man, I really connect with her. She's so weird and quirky, and she's him because he's kind of a jerk sometimes. But right there, something happened. If I were to do a video podcast, it would separate me from the pack of podcasters that were interviewing people and doing the whole, regular thing that we do as podcasters. Nothing wrong with that, for sure. Interviewing people is so powerful. We still do it on the show. But I needed something that was fresh, and that could really cater to me as an artist, and me as somebody who wanted to grow from that. So, I talked about that instant connection I felt with Anna, and that is what video can do. Everything else in between, there's something that can happen there. There's an instant connection that can happen there. On the show, I wear a lot of Marvel superheroes and stuff because I'm a big comics fan. And so somebody could watch that and go, man, I really like how she wears it could be like, dude, why the hell are you wearing Marvel superhero comics all the time? What do you hate? So right away, using video, you can establish who is this for and who is this not for, right? Because as content creators, we want to, as podcasters, we want to find our true fan base right away and as quickly as possible. So the faster I can get to those people and give them more of my time, more of my love, instead of wasting time on people who are on the fence or don't care about the show or don't show love, I don't have time for that. So it's a great way to create a filter for your brand and your show. All right, the legs, the other legs. So when you start using video in a smart way, now you not only reach audio, people who consume audio, now you reach the people who consume content visually, right? So now your brand, your show, has more legs to stand on. And even if it was an established show and very, very strong, now it's honored legs, okay? So now you have this brand equity because you want to play this game for the long run, unless, you're only in it to just be here. It gives your brand equity. You can have more space on the internet. All right, transparency. This was a big one, wasn't it, Pete? This was the big seller for you. When I was trying to convince him, of, hey, you want to come do a show with me where you don't know nothing about it? Right here, transparency. So we spent 6 years behind our cameras going, look at the work, look at my portfolio. Please don't look at me, okay? Times are changing now. Now the couple kissing at sunset with their silhouette reflected in the ocean are a dime a dozen. All right? So what do you do when the content is repetitive and already out there? You have your branding, your personal brand specifically, and you can show that with video. And we already talked about that instant connection and creating that filter. And so when you are transparent, you now become humanizing. You're now no longer the photographer that just shoots and shoots and shoots and is like a machine. Now you're somebody who they know, like, and trust, right? We've all talked about that already. So transparency, very powerful. All right. So we've seen an incredible growth in our online presences, like lab presence that we talked about. And these numbers, guys, this is nothing to really brag about. All right? They're not something that I would like show anybody really. Actually, what this is to illustrate is that because I'm just like you and making these small incremental steps forward in the decisions of, producing a better show and creating better content, what I see here is momentum. And a friend told me just before I gave this talk to you guys that momentum is the most powerful force that you can generate when you're first starting out. And so, to quote a very favorite Friends episode, all the numbers go up, so I'm happy. And this momentum right here is what I'm talking about. When you have all these things in line, now you can create momentum to be seen, right? To move your brand and the needle of your business forward. All right. Of course, with all the business and the hustle, and we hustle all the time, but now that we've created this sort of vision of a product, of this show that we have to produce every week, we almost have to force ourselves to relax sometimes because we're so hustle heavy, right? We're all about the hustle as entrepreneurs, as podcasters. Sometimes you just gotta take a minute, or 30 minutes in this case, to laugh at yourself, to poke fun at the things that you made mistakes on and failed at, and for us, to really just enjoy each other, right? For 30 minutes at least, because we work so hard. Why are we working so hard in the first place? Oh yeah, it's to enjoy the relationships that we have, and to have this life, that this grand vision and financial freedom, and the people around us that love us. So it's pretty damn fun. All right, this is a big one, guys. So we talked about the kind of tactical things that you can do with, adding video to your podcast. But for us, Get in the Lab, that podcast, it's not a gimmick. It's real. It's real for us. When we first started the show, there was a lot of tension because we were trying to figure each other out. And we had not yet learned how to communicate certain things because we were in this new environment of creating a show together. Whereas I had a voice and he had a voice, and learning how to balance those things. So we were in the lab, literally. It's not a gimmick for us. Every time we hit record for that show, we were doing something special. We were making our relationship stronger. And when we make our relationship stronger, everything else reflects that. Business, most importantly. So we had to learn that communication had to be on full throttle. We had to learn how to over-communicate things, or else we were left to assume, which it never led to a good thing. So in doing the show, it kept us accountable to each other, to be better people, and to be better people for our relationship, and then for our business. So what's next? So we know that video allows for more reach. Okay, now you can reach more people because you're now disseminating your content with video. Creates a better filter so that you can get to your true fans. Humanizing the brand so that they know, like, and trust you. Feel like they know you. And it's an incredible way to explode in your growth online, your platform online, your brand online. And most importantly, that inner development, that self-dev, that is so important to making any kind of massive change happen in your business, all right? And again, I'm here talking to you guys. Like, that's a crazy opportunity from doing video podcasting. For some reason, Jared was like, hey, I like to get in the lab podcast. Thank you. So, limitless possibilities. And you know what? You can't even predict what you can do with video, because now that opens up the realm of YouTube and all that has to offer, and the other realms of video as well. All right, guys. So, like I said, I have a bit of free coaching that I'd like to give my time a little bit, because it matters when somebody can just walk me through it or tell me just really quickly, hey, you just need to do this little thing right here. Okay, cool. I can get back to the grind. So I'd like to offer just a bit of my time for anybody serious about adding video into their podcast scheme. Just go to getinthelab.me/SD. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Some people are like, oh, I have a hard enough time with audio. Now you're telling me video?
That's why I
conflicting. So what's your advice, maybe that one thing that person could consider in video if they're wanting to